There we go. All right, so I'm making a simple script to plot a trend line, and I'll decide what I want to do after that. So hopefully, order business for the last couple of days was yesterday we made a Fibonacci retracement, so we just plot the lines there. So just kind of continuing that idea of making trend lines, plotting trend lines. I wanted to plot a trend line. So this stream may get stopped midway, but I'll certainly come back on and continue just as soon as I get a chance. Let's see. Make sure I got everything set up. And get this out of here, hide this. Media source. I can hide this. Okay. Alright, so what's going on for the day? Radar screen. So just looking to see what's moving for the day. I'm just curious. Pre-market movers: SPCB, SMX, MOB, AMOX, BTA, CEI. If we go by percent change, SMX, SPCB. All right, so let's see what these look like. Nice. Where do you draw that trend line? Certainly draw that guy, but do you start from here, from this base? Excuse me. Let's see. Let me see if I can go find my glasses. Be right back. All right, I was able to find some. So, all right, let's see what we got. So, SMX. Let's see what SMX looks like on this screen. I don't know why I still have troubles with my scaling. Subgraph, I think because the second is messed up. Let's see if that did it. No, what I'm looking for my scaling is for it to automatically automatically resize no matter where I'm at. So well, for one, that's why, because data 2 is showing the 5-second time frame, and data 1 is showing the 15-second time frame. That should be data 2 should be showing the 5-minute time frame. That's why. Okay, 5-minute time frame. Did I not save it? 1-minute time frame, 15-second time frame, 15-second, 10 days back scaling. 1-minute bar, 10 days back scaling. Is this default? There we go. Okay. Still not. I know what it's doing. I see what it's doing. It's trying to include these studies here. It's trying to include these lines down here, I believe. No, I don't think that's it. Something is wrong. Cannot move forward until we get the basics situated. The basics.
Check for entry.
Basics, the basics.
Check for entry.
Scaling. Some of the times it'll put in there that it wants to, well, we know that it shouldn't be fixed, right? We know it should be automatic. It should not include the studies. Days back, 15-second. I'm going to lose my mind. What is it doing? Settings will make or break you. They will make or break you. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's go out of the 15-second time frame. Sometimes TradeStation is weird like that, where you got to go out and come back in, and that's not it. But it has something to do with scaling, I assure you. 15-second. That is back. Style, scaling, right axis. Date range on screen. Yeah. Let's up margins. Set as default. I'm lost. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna remove the second data stream. Okay, so now when I remove the second data stream, now it works fine, but still don't know how come when I add the second data stream, it's giving me that weird. What is this? SMX? It's giving me that weird scaling. Second data stream, we need to put it on subgraph 1. We're just going to make the style clear. Hit OK, close that. Okay, still when I zoom in, it's doing something funny with my sub margins. And if you notice that it keeps saying that it's disabled the sub margins, which I don't know why it's doing that.
Check for injury.
Now, if I go to another ticker, Tesla or another ticker, seems to work just fine. It's zooming in on everything that needs to be zoomed in on. I wonder if there's limited data with SMX. If there's something up with the data. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it out of the I'm gonna make it so it's visible, and then we'll see what's going on. And didn't see it. Scaling, style, solid candlestick, open body. I don't see the green candle showing up for the 1 minute time frame. Subgraph 1. So it should be there. That is weird. But I have seen some weird things happen on TradeStation in regards to, like, if you click on the 15-second time frame, there's no data. If you click on the 1 minute time frame, there's data. Even looking back the same time frame or the same interval, there should be data there, but it'll just come up as a blank screen. So I don't know why it does that with some tickers, but let's move on, because I don't think it's my chart. I think it's the ticker. And now this one isn't showing anything, or it is showing something. It's just like zoomed way out. All right. This is driving me bananas. This is just something wrong with my chart. Let's try that again. Let's try SMX. Yeah, still doesn't work on this one, on this workspace here. So, but like I said, if you go to something like NVIDIA, I think the NVIDIA would have more volume right now. It doesn't, but it's scaling properly. SMX must have something to do with the amount of volatility or something. I don't know. But it's hard for me to analyze the chart when it's this narrow, when it's when everything is this close together. All right, hang tight. All right, there we go. Again, this is my homework. This is pretty much what I sit here and do as I'm figuring all this stuff out. So you can feel free to hang out. But none of this stuff is given to you. All this stuff takes time. So this is what I'm doing. I'm taking the time to make it work. Putting in the work. Tick, minute, second, 15 second. Volume bars, 15 second bar, 15 second. 3 volume. Alright, got you. 10, 5 days back. Okay. Jesus. What you doing? What you talking about? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright. 15 second bar. 15 second bar. Come on. 15 second. Okay, I see that. 15 second. If I have the a smaller time frame on the second data stream, then that's gonna mess it up, which I thought I'd overcome that. Hang on, I'm gonna work in the background. I'm gonna take this call. All right, I'm back. Back. I'm just kind of vacillating back and forth between this these time frames because it's, like I said, it's still the scaling is not making sense. The date range on the screen, not the entire date range. Blowing above last. I mean, it's definitely the date range that's on the screen. We don't do any of these things. We do that. This is for the 5-minute time frame, but the 5-minute time frame should also reflect what's happening on the 15-second time frame. And again, the other problem that I'm seeing is when I actually put the 5-minute, unless this ticker changed names or something, I don't know. Day range on the screen with the sub margins. That's okay. Like I said, for this one, for the 5-minute, let's make it visible so we can see it, and then. Alright, so make it visible. But I don't see those candles. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to take the data 2 and we're going to take it and we're going to put it on the next graph below, subgraph 2. Okay, so we put on subgraph 2, so it's down here and it's out of here, and you see when I took it out of here, now it scales how I want it to. Now it's automatically scaling based on what we see. However, this is the 15-second time frame. What happens on the 5-minute time frame in the background of this should still, because it's referencing the same time point, it should still reference the same price levels. And like I said, I put it down here and it should show up. It should be showing up between $3.40, $3.50. However, this range here is $1.73, so let's drag or something and get to the $3 mark. And even at in the $3 range, we don't see anything showing up. So that's weird for the 5-minute time frame. Tell you what, let's just do 5-minute time frame. On the 5-minute time frame, it shows up, right? Oh, now I get it. Now I get it. No, I don't. No, I don't. Because I was thinking that maybe the session hours was different for the 5-minute versus the 15-second, and that was throwing it off. All right, so let's go down. Let's take off the bid and ask down here. Bid and ask. Okay, so the bid and ask is off of this subgraph 2, and so we only have the 5-minute time frame. Yet the 5-minute time frame is not showing anything. So I'm going to get rid of that second data series altogether. We're just going to remove that, and we're going to add a new one. And like I said, for maybe some reason it was truncated or there was some issue with it. So SMX, prompt for editing. We're going to put it scaling subgraph 2 with submargins, automatic scaling. Okay, and then hit OK. And still, it doesn't show up. Now, I'm going to customize it, make sure that, because my default is for it to be clear. So make that solid, hit OK, close, and it still does not show. There it goes. I thought I ran into this last week, yesterday. So if I click on that and hit session out, yeah, okay. All right. This is crazy. This is crazy. But how would you know to come over here and find this? Especially, so the problem is yes, this is not referencing after hours. This chart up here, this the candlesticks up here is, if you go up here and you see session hours, it is showing post and pre-market data. This one, if you click on this one and then you hit session hours, it's only doing regular session. So we have to click on post-market hours. The problem is how do you find that when you're going to your, when you go here? When you go here, you need to be able to see that. Otherwise, if we went here and we went to customize and we went to style and we made it 100% clear, now it's clear, and so we can't tell that it's missing this data. When it misses this data, it messes up our scaling. So when we go to customize symbols, we need to be able to go here and find where it is referencing all session hours. Bar building, use natural hours, session hours. And if we don't address that, then we are going to have messed up data scaling. So there's nothing on here talking about session hours. Scaling, nothing on here talking about session hours. And properties. Here. Nope. That's just the that's just how it looks. I think this is just how it looks. I don't think that this is the actual setting for the chart. 24 hours, because this would be 24. This would be post-market, pre-market. gonna have to come and play with this and see. But I don't think that this is it. This is just adjusting the session hours, the session settings. So instead of a normal, like pre-market being from 4 o'clock to 9:30 or something like that, you can adjust where you want your pre-market hours to be. You can adjust where you want your actual regular market hours to be. So that's not it. All right, so yeah, somehow if the scaling's messed up, I'm just gonna have to remember to come back and look at the session hours, and or do like I did before, which I had done it, which was go here, look at the style, make it 100% solid, and then I'll just have to remember to scale way out so I can see where the data shows up, because this should be, I should drag it and it should be up here, right axis. Okay, so this should be overlaid, so that 5-minute time frame should be, see that 5-minute time frame, these bars here, it should be overlaid over top of the 15-second time frame. So there's the 15-second time frame. All right, so in here, it's probably kind of hard to tell, but we have the 15-second time frame candlesticks, and we also have the 5-minute time frame candlesticks. Now, no, both of these are 15-second. All right, let's do this. I wonder, can I click on one and then change the time frame? Yeah, I can. Wow. Okay, that's cool. So I thought I had to do my Shift S and go to customize symbols every time, but you see, I could change it just by clicking on the ticker on the data stream. So we could click on this one and make this one the 5-minute time frame. Zoom in. I think both of them are 5-minute time frame now. Okay, so click on this one, make it the 15-second. All right, so we just solved the problem. Hope you guys saw that. Not sure why this data is missing right here. Second and 5-minute. Okay, so now maybe there's just no data there for the last minute. Oh, this is the 5-minute candle, that because in TradeStation is a little bit unique. It's unique to Thinkorswim, whereas Thinkorswim, your 5-minute candle, whenever it starts working on the 5-minute candle, it's right here. TradeStation, the candle that's completed references the time frame prior to it. So this candle here, if you look at down at the very bottom, it says 9 o'clock. But so this candle is referencing the 5 minutes that lead up to 9 o'clock. So all this time in here, all the way up to 9 o'clock, will be covered by this candle. This candle will be the visualization of what happens in that 5 minutes prior to. So that was actually a pretty tough concept for me to wrap my head around when I came over to TradeStation. So that's important for you to know. All right, so we're going to go back and then we're going to actually make the style of that 5-minute candle. We're going to make it clear so that it's out of the way. All right, so I'm glad I was able to figure that out. Now we're going to come here and make sure that we do have our top and bottom margins for our scaling. Yep, it's default. Okay, and we still don't have it. Guess you can't hit OK. You gotta hit. You gotta tap the box. Okay, scaling, submargins, set as default. Okay, and close. Oh, we have to do it for both. I'm sorry. Scaling. Ooh, nice little move there. Look at you go. Okay, I still don't feel like we have our top and bottom subgraph margin. But then again, if you do remember that every time we came to it, we kept seeing that the subgraph margins would be disabled. And I don't remember what the reason was, but that's what they wanted to do to us. So, okay. All right, that looks better. I still don't, there's something up with this subgraph. Okay, I don't think it's going to change. There's some reason why I won't go on that. All right. If you look here, this is one of the indicators I made the other week, right? So it's a trend line that automatically plots. All these trend lines automatically plot, right? And that's what we're going to do today. Is we're going to make another trend line, but we're going to make diagonal ones. All right. So this trend line automatically plots, and whatever criteria I had for this, hope that you were on one of the other videos. You might know what the actual script was, because I make them here on site. So there's no reason why you shouldn't know what the algorithm, what the script is to make this. All right, but was this respected? Yes, 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 it was. So I imagine that if it does make it over this, then it'll be, it should be respected pretty well. But it'll make a good support. But this is offering pretty significant resistance right now. Yeah. All right, so let's go. Let's see what's happening on some of these others now that we finally have our chart cooperating. All right, just for simplicity purposes, yeah, I wish session hours would work for the entire chart analysis screen instead of just each individual ticker. I guess maybe I don't wish that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a easy trend line. Flat slope. All right. Flat slope. Boom. Okay. When we took off the data too, we lost this. And I think that this flat slope works better when you're looking at like the 1 minute time frame. All right. So what I was looking for, I'm looking to find where the slope is flat. So in other words, where you get somewhat of a rest. You see here, you know, kind of it reaches that dip. Here it reaches the dip. That's what I'm looking for. A rest and a dip. Boom and a boom and a, you know, there you would have got stopped out. But I'm still looking. I'm still finding scripts that make the most sense and are profitable. Here we have low liquidity plus it's after hours, so wouldn't expect to take that one anyhow. As a matter of fact, I could just take that off of the. Well, you can have better liquidity in after hours, pre-market hours for like runners for your stocks that are you know, gapping for the day or penny stocks or something like that. So I don't want to incorporate to the script that it's a that it has to be high. Well, I don't want to set it specific to an amount of volume. Excuse me, because whatever volume happens here may actually be really good volume. This may be low volume for Tesla, so you know, 26,000 shares, whatever. But if you are looking at one of the penny stocks, that number of shares could be like really high volume and offer high liquidity. So number of shares doesn't always equal liquidity. It is relative to the instrument that you're trading. But look, I got these blue dots. I got all these blue dots coming up in here, and they don't really happen on the downwards unless it's liquidity issues. So I could go in and alter that script to account for that. But I'm not doing that right now. We're going to make that simple script about a trend line. See if I remember some of the terminology and some of the logic that we had from yesterday. No, this is going to be a indicator. I'm going to put trend line practice. I probably already have one of these, a trend line practice, because now why don't I have a, well, anyway. All right, so trend line practice. All right, we need to declare. We're gonna call this one support. We're gonna call it SP1, and that is a type trend line. And the original declaration will be null. Yeah, we're only gonna do the one. We gotta come up using I think it's using EL system, and then we gotta use using EL system drawing or something. Let's see what it says over here. I forget. EL system drawing objects. Drawing objects. Okay. All right, so we declared the variable the trend line. All right, so on here we're just going to find a point. This is just like we did yesterday. We're going to find 2 points, and we're going to draw a trend line. So from here, you use the same kind of logic, and then you would use your own trading or your own scripting logic, strategies, analysis to find out where you want the self-learning points to automatically come up at. But for today, we're going to use these 2 points, boom and boom. So let's identify them, something like that. So, and then we do a vertical line. Is it B? No. N? Yes. Vertical line here. See the time up there, 10:06 at 11:24. To this one, 10:06 at 14:01. All right, so let's come back here. All right, so it's got to be something like if time equals 10:06 and date equals 123 years, which is 2023, the 10th month, and the 6th day, then begin. Our trend line variable is SPL, then begin SPL. No. Was that SPL or SB1? SB1. SB1 equals, we have to do trendline.create. All right, that, and then we have to do the first data point, which is dt point.create, and then we'll do bar date time, which is going to equal we have to do one other thing here. Let's see, bar date time of, we're going to call this value 7. We're going to make something value 7, which value 7 will be if time is equal to that first data point, which is 11:24. Time is 11:24, and date equals that same day, which is 10:06. Then value 7 will be assigned to the bar number. It'll be that bar number. Yes. Current bar. Okay. All right. Now, if time, so now we have right here, we decided that this saves bar number, right? All right, so now we come over here and we need new bar number. And then the difference between this bar and that bar, the difference between that bar and that bar, because this bar is going to be like bar number 50. This bar is going to be like bar number 100. So we got to find the distance between the two, which will be 100 minus 50, will give us this number of bars back, which is 50. Okay, so we got to do this bar minus that bar. Okay, so that's the logic that we're coding for. So if the time is equal to this time over here, which is 1401, 1401, and the date is that, then begin. So first, let's go ahead and solve for that bar. So value, we're going to call it 8 actually. Value 8 is equal to value 7 minus, so current bar, which is whatever that current bar is, minus value 7. All right. So now this needs to be changed to value 8 because that's our first point. Okay, and bar date time, and then our second data point, our second date point is date point that creates is bar date time of that current bar that we're actually sitting at the moment. At the moment that this happens, at the moment that this function happens, it's right here. So we need to find, so that's our second point. So that is 0 number of bars ago. That is the current bar, 0 number of bars. All right, so we got that. I feel like we need a price. So I feel like here, dt point dot create, to close this dt point out, date time point, we also need the price, which is going to be the low of that bar, and then we create our second dt point, bar date time 0, and then that's going to be the high of that bar. Close that out, boom, that, and then we're going to do drawing objects dot add, because now that that trend line has been created, we have to add it to the chart. So we're just going to put sp1. Now, if I got this right, this will be great, because that means that all the hard work I did yesterday, I remembered it just like that. All right, verify. Do we have any errors? No errors. That boy is on point. All right, so we go back to the screen, and then we go to indicator. We're going to go to, I think it was practice. I think it was trendline practice. There we go. Add that. Okay. All right, so, okay, I know what happened. So we did get that point there, so that was good, because you see it's a pivot. We got that point there. I'm still surprised why it went this far, because I didn't think it would extend right unless you tell it to extend right. So we have to go back and look at that, but it started from right here, which is not what we wanted it to do. So this low here, this first data point, which should be down here, when we get to this bar 1401, when we get to that bar, we're saying, hey, use that low of that bar. Use the low as that value. We don't want to use the low here. We want to use the low down here. We want to use the low of this many bars ago. How many bars ago was that? That was this value here, value 8. So we need to do the low of value 8 bars ago. Now verified, and now boom. Okay, that looks great. Again, trend line is cool. That's exactly what we're looking for, but I didn't think they would extend right unless we tell it to extend right. So if you don't want it to extend right, you could do something like sp1 dot extend right equals false. Okay, And then when you verify that, now it just goes from here to here. Okay, but I do like it extending right. I actually want my trend lines to extend right because I want to know what's going on the right side of the screen. All right, so now we got that. And then if you want to widen it, sp1.weight equals, we'll go, I forget what it is. It probably goes like 0 to 6. And if you forget, you can go to the word there, right click it, and then hit definition, and then it'll pop up a screen, and then it'll say extend right. It'll show weight. Weight gets line weight from an enumerated list. See weight for a list of values. It goes from 0 to 6. Okay, so again, you can call that weight. You can call the style, which can be like a dotted line if you want to. Let's see, gets the starting point of the trend line as a DOP. So I don't know what that is, but you know, maybe I'll learn that in the future. So these are all of the parameters that you can set, things that you can change for your trend line that you create. So you got weight, style, start point, show time span, show the labels, right, justify, label, endpoint. Now, does that already have a label on it? It does have a label, but if you think that makes your chart messy, or you're not really interested in that data there, then what do? You say, oh, show labels. It's a Boolean. Boolean is on or off. Boolean is true, false. So we do a true, false as what it's equal to. So we do show labels. So we go here, we do sp1.show labels, and then we hit enter, and then we go false. Then we verify and see it disappeared here. Well, we got something. Okay, here we go. Got to be a semicolon, not a period. Okay, so now we got that thick line, and we don't have the show labels anymore. Want to change that style? Go to here, because you may have different trend lines. You may have a trend line that shows you the support. You may have a trend line that shows you, I don't know, where the highest volume bars are. So if you want one to show you something different, then you just go to style, and then you go to, I think there's 0, 1, 2, maybe 3. And it gives you like a solid line, a dotted line, and a dash line, I think. Yeah, so 0 is solid, 2 is dotted, well, 0 is solid, 1 is dashed, 2 is dotted, and then you have 2 other variations of dash, which is dash 3 or 4. So let's go with dotted. Let's go with 2. 2 semicolon, and then verify. Now we got that dotted line. To me, that looks more dashed. Did that say dash or dotted? That looks more dashed to me. 2 style. We went with 2, that should be dotted. But I think also the size that we have, the weight that we have, is making that dash look a lot more dotted. Okay, still looks dash to me, but you know, let's see what 1 looks like, which is a dash. Okay, so that's dashed. All right, so then the other one's dotted. All right, and then we want to change the color on that. I forget how to change the color. I think it was something like sp1 dot. I think we had to do el system dot drawing object dot color. Nah, that wasn't it, but it was something like that. So let's see what it was. Raise your hand when you see it. Raise your hand when you see it. Raise your hand when you see it. Dot color equals el system dot drawing dot color. Okay. Alright, so sp1.color equals el system dot drawing dot color dot, we call that green since it's our support. I think that's it. Boom. Okay, and then I don't know if there's a dark green, there's a dark blue, or you can change it to whatever you want it to be. There's a dark green. Dark green, dark green, dark green, dark green. Okay. All right, so that is our trend line. We made a trend line. Now, if you want that trend line to be based on some dynamic movements, then that's where it gets tricky. So we'll say we'll say I think I'm about to take a break here in a minute, and then I'll come back. But we'll say that value 1 equals so we need to find a swing pivot high, and then we need to find the bar that's associated with the swing pivot high. And let's do this, because I think there is a function of that. Swing pivot high bar, swing high bar. There we go. Swing high bar, and then the instance, the price, the strength, and the length. So the instance will be the first instance that we see, or the most recent instance that we see. Instance price, we're going to use the high. No, yeah, we're going to use the high. We're going to make this with that. Instance price, strength. We want there to be 15 bars on either side, and then the length that we want to look over. We want to look over the last 100 bars, 200 bars. Okay, so, and then value 2. So that's going to be the most recent one that we have. So that's going to be our last. Matter of fact, let's make this 2. That's going to be our last data set, data point. This is going to be our first data point. So swing high bar, 1 high, 15, 200, and this actually needs to be, I think, 2, because this is going to be the least recent. This is going to be the furthest away point. All right, so this is so these are our bar numbers. So instead of date time point dot create, we want to do bar number dot create. So I hope this is as easy as I hope it to be. Okay, bar number bn point dot create that. So bar number and then the price. So bar number for the first one. Bar number for the first one will be this first one. So value 1. And then the price will be the high, and then the high of what? The high of that many bars ago. The high of value 1. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I didn't put 1. I see it. All right, and then bn point 2. Bn point. The second bn point will be dot create value 2. The high of what? Value 2, or that current bar. Yeah, if we do it of value 2, then we need to take away this. Yeah, we're gonna have to take away this. So we just mute this out. Because now we're just looking at the chart, we're looking back to see what's going on, and then we're plotting it. If we do this, then we are only looking at it at a specific date, looking back. So I know part of what's going to happen here is that it's going to move from here for sure, but we're either going to get one trend line or we're going to get a bunch of trend lines. I think we're going to get a bunch of trend lines. Yeah. So, and that's where having other criteria comes in to really narrow it down. how inclusive or how exclusive your info is, your analysis is. Okay, so let's come back here and then let's just hit F3, see what we get. All right, did we get any errors? Yes. Begin. Let's see, where did it expect it at? Okay, so I need to close parentheses. So we have trendline.create, open parentheses there. We open, we close, we open, we close. Okay, we do need another close. And now verify. Okay, no errors. Great. Okay, so let's zoom out and let's see where those trend lines were made at. Or did it just make one? It did not make any. If it does, I don't see it. Okay, let's go back to our script. Okay, so value 1, value 2. Let me make sure that I do have the definition right of bar number, create current bar, current bar plus max bars back, current bar plus max bars back. If point.create, we're going to create the I just had a begin here out of the blue, which I don't think you can do, or maybe you can. I mean, it doesn't look like it's kicking the error back, but I'm just going to take this away, the begin and end, and then re-verify, which is still no errors, but alright, still no errors, but still no lines. Okay. Point.create. Bar number. This is not the same as the current bar reserved word, which counts the number of bars available for. Now this is after max bars back. This means that if you want to plot a drawing object, such a line on the point. 3. Max bars back is 10, or your next thing is calculating a current bar 20, need to be 30, right? No? Plot a vertical drawing object on the bar with a being point index of 20 from the start of the chart. Bar with a being point index. Which is the same as current bar. Okay. Well, I mean, that doesn't help because that's kind of what I understood. Vertical line, or so trend line dot create, bm point dot create, max bars back, created at 0. Let's go to I feel like there's some more info on bm point. Current bar equals 20, then begin. Do the current bar, create current bar plus max bars back. Max bars back minus 1. Current bar. Oh, I see one thing wrong. No, that's right. Yep, no, that's wrong. Okay, so it looks like for BN point, so for DT point, I had to use brackets. For BN point, you use parentheses, and it does matter. It's that small little minutia. And I mean, why wouldn't it just be the same from, one to the next? It's that little minutia. All right, so, oh well, I have that. I have parentheses. But still, it's that minutia. BM point. Curve bar, max bar, and then dash. I wish it would just write out what you want, what it wants you to put. Oh, there it is. So if you look at methods, it says .create, you have bar number, and then you have price. Price is double. Okay, so somehow I think it's my swing point, my swing high bar. I must have this wrong somehow. Let's do this. Let's just reference a specific time, and then from there we can go back and look at multiple time frames, or it being able to kind of pull multiple data points. So if time is equal to 1600, so what it's going to do is it's going to take 1600 and then it's going to look back and find these, see where the pivots are from these points, and then it'll draw the line from there. So every day at 4 o'clock is going to look back. Now reference historical data into the future. If time equals 1600, then begin. Swing high bar. instance. So what's the current status? 1 is most recent. 2 is second most recent. Let's do this. Let's just dial this whole chart in, and instead of 5 days, this many days, let's do like 3 days. Let's dial it in so that we don't have to keep looking over an entire length, and maybe our trend lines will pop up, and then we can stretch it out from there. I feel like it should have shown up, even with this. If time is 1600, then begin. We're going to find the swing high bar, looking back 200 bars with 15 bars on either side, and use the high. And then that's going to be our second data point. Our second bar is back. Oh, wait a minute. This is the high bar. This is not bars back. Yes, it is. Function returns the number of bars ago a swing high bar occurred. I'll tell you what. Let me see if I can print, and then that might help us if the screen isn't moving too crazily. Print value. I think it's value 2, value 1. Go here, and then we're going to open up the print screen, so then it'll show us. I got something else printing as well from another script. Value, we're going to do value 1. Not even printing. Printing. Oh, it must have got turned off. Yeah, Trendline proxy got turned off. All right. Well, if it got turned off, then that explains why it wasn't showing up, and that happens sometimes. But so now let's open it back up to, because that specific situation may have not happened in a 3-day span. So let's open it up to 10 days. Okay, so value 1 still isn't showing that this even happened. So why haven't we found a swing high bar with 15 bars on either side? Can we find a swing high bar with 7 bars on either side? No. The answer is no. Did it kick it out again? Yes, it kicked it out again. Cannot reference bars into the future. So it kicked it out again. Alright, so what's happening is when it says it can't reference bars to the future, so these numbers here have to be positive numbers, which means that it's going to look back a high back number of bars ago. If these bars are not positive numbers, then it will show a negative number, and that negative number means it's trying to look into the future. If it's trying to look into the future, then it cannot do that. So one way that I can get around that, and then whenever a study does this, it'll just shut the whole study down. Instead of trying to figure it out and come up with some dumb answers or answers it can't even come up with, it'll just shut the whole study down. So if you're not paying attention to this screen, this events log, you're going to miss that, and then you're going to be sitting here working for a long time trying to figure out what's wrong with your study. So I'm going to put this events log, I'll put it over on my other monitor so that I don't miss when that comes up, because I've been sitting here for at least 10 minutes trying to figure out something that was not possible. All right, so if time is 1600, then begin, All right, and then, so for down here, as far as creating a trend line, we want to create this trend line. So if value 2 is greater than 0 and value 1 is greater than 0, then we can begin all this good stuff. And if they are greater than 0, then we'll at least won't shut down our script. But if they have another number, then we got something else to contest with. All right, so now we're going to verify this, and then we didn't get any errors here, which is good, but we won't get them until we come here and we reapply this trend line to the screen, which we just did. And now, now is what I was telling you. So we're either going to get one bar or we're going to get a bunch of bars. And we got a bunch of bars. I was afraid of that. All right. So let's see what's going on. Yeah. Looks great. Okay. I'll tell you what, it's completely giving my computer a fit. Okay, but we didn't get any errors. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. That's our first spot to debug this thing. All right, so our second spot to debug this is, okay, so now we have too many. So why do we have too many? Because if value of 2 is greater than 0 and value of 1 is greater than 0, then we're going to start this, which is 1600. Time is 1600. And okay, so 7 is too few. I knew 7 was too few. I was at what, 15? So, and could probably even be less than that, but let's verify that. Okay, so we have less now. Let's go 30. Okay, so we have less now. Tell you what, just so we can see what's going on and so we're not getting all these right extensions, let's get rid of the extension. So let's do sp1.extend right. We're going to do false, and then we'll see start to finish on each of our lines. And that is peculiar because now, whereas we had all those trend lines before, now hardly nothing is showing up. Unless I just messed up the script. I did not. Not yet. Okay, so if time was 1600, so all of our trend lines are here and there's just extensions out of all this. So why is everything showing up here? I don't know. This time right here is roughly 5:50 a.m. I think this goes back to what I was reading back about max bars and that kind of thing, because here we haven't even started our see the red line, the moving average starts here. So through this part we haven't even started our studies yet. So there's something wrong with these values here. Look at that, value 1 is negative there. Value 2 could say if value 2, value 1 is going to be that second data point because it's referencing the second most recent. So as long as that is greater than 0, then there should have been a first one. In order to get a second second most recent occurrence, you had to have had a first most recent occurrence. So it's kind of redundant to say that both of them have to be greater than 0, because we know that value 1 is greater than 0 if value 2 is greater than 0. We know that value 1 happened. Or vice versa. Okay, so wait a minute, I think I got these switched up. So value 2 is going to be the most recent one, so that's the last. This last point. So that makes this the first point, second most recent. All right, so when we come down here, the first point needs to be, yeah, value 1 and value 2. Okay. All right. Value 1 is greater than 0. I think I've shut down the whole script by saying if time is 1600. And then we're going to look back. So I'll just put if current bar. I just, let's see, can we just do that? That is weird. That is weird. Bar number, that's going to be the bar number that we're going to use. And now I remember working on these trend lines some time ago, and there was something confusing about it, but I want to try to figure it out without going back and looking at the script that I created long ago. So, value 1 being point. Because this is only starting from here. Value 1. Bar number create. From what bar? From value 1. Oh. I think this is finding us the swing high bar, looking back 200 bars, and it's finding the most recent occurrence and the second most recent occurrence, but it's not continuing to move forward in the chart. The high of value 1, that number of bars ago. I feel like once this is finding something, then it stops. So I feel like I have to restart the swing high bar. Yeah, I think, yeah, now it's kind of coming to me. It's something like, we got to do, if swing high bar if swing high bar of 1, swing high bar high of 30, looking back 200 is greater than 0, then value 1, we're going to plus 1 to it. We're going to add 1 to the value before it. Okay. And then if the swing high bar, if the swing high bar gets a new value, or if swing high instance price strength length, instance price strength length, if the swing high is greater than 0, then value, we're going to say value, I can't use value 1 and value 2, value 5 plus equals 1. And then if value 5 is greater than value 5 of a bar ago, then we're going to begin all this stuff. Then we're going to begin swing high, finding what that bar is for the current one and then the second most recent one, and then we're going to assign those values to that, and then they go there. Ooh, it did not like that, and did not give me anything useful. We just got to get away from this period right here, 745. And I feel like it's moving forward as the chart goes forward. So it's got to be something dealing with this number of bars back. What if we do plus max bars back? Yeah, but it's still not moving with the chart. Something is... Oh, man. Ah! All right, let's open it up. Let's see what the trend line practice looks like. Need some help. Trend lines automatic. I don't know what this is. I did not create this one. And somebody put some time into this thing. Good Jesus. Yeah, so this is where I was practicing that, and I guess I got something together. And so, what are these notes here saying? What did I come up with? Also, bar number is the bar number since the beginning of the chart, not since 9:30. Okay, well, I knew that. Also, the bar number starts after the max bar is back. And I think that's why I had to put on there plus. That's why I had to put on here plus max bar is back. So I also need to do that for bar number. Because I think this is, yeah, I think this is bar number. Just move it forward. Okay. So if the chart has 100 bars but the max bar is back is 10, then the bar number technically only starts recording from it. That 10 bars onward. This also, but for now, this will be half. Okay. Oh, I could have drawn the trend line like that. Just do TL new instead of doing the drawing it as an object. But I think doing it as an object, I can set alerts for it. Doing it as TL new, I can't set alerts for it. Maybe. I don't know. Set TL. Yeah, you can set alert for it too. There's set alert right there. Okay, well, anyway, I've already got it set up in the objects. Date, time, high from that number of bars ago, date, time, low. Okay, well that doesn't help with multiple trend lines. Alright, I'm gonna take a break and then I'll come back and look at this some more, but I will come back to you when I have some more info. Alright, this is Eric. I'm out. Peace.